Anglers Extra.
Live from Hyannis, it's the Manager Show on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. I'm Aaron Canada alongside John Schiffner here in Hyannis, home of the Harbor Hawks, as the Anglers come in with their 7-3-1 record to take on the Harbor Hawks at 5-6. And Schiff, we talked about it yesterday through the first quarter of the season. Talk about your report card for this team.
I think it was very well done. I thought we did, obviously anybody, you can always improve. Hitting-wise, I think we can improve. We had some clutch hitting, but I think we just need to get a little bit better, just more hits, I guess you might say. I mean, our batting average is reasonable, but I think the hitting could step it up a little bit. I really have absolutely no complaints. The pitching staff's done a tremendous job. The defense has been very adequate. I thought overall I'll give us a good B. I'll give us a real good B. I think we're doing just fine.
Another loss last night, however, just the third of the seaseason overall. As mentioned, 7-3-1 through the first quarter of the season. And good and bad, ups and downs in the contest yesterday. The good being Kenny Monteith coming around and pitching 3 1/3, striking out 5. But Aaron Gates going through 4 1/3 of his own and walking 7.
Tough outing. I thought home plate was a little strange last night. I think Aaron did not get any advantages or any help at all. Thought he threw very well. I thought it was I did not realize it was 7, but now that I think about how many pitches we thought were strikes and it weren't. But I thought Aaron threw well. He was composed. Mechanically looked sound, but really happy for Kenny. He got a really, really strong outing for us. And that's Kenny having a good outing is only going to help us out a lot. That was a very strong outing. Really happy for him.
So tonight coming into Hyannis to take on the Harbor Hawks again at 5-6. And talk about the lineup we should see tonight.
Pretty standard. I think we're going to put Ginth down for the night, just trying to rotate people around. Riley's going to play third base because he got bumped out of there the other night to go into left field when Marty went down. Ricky and Westlake are going to switch to the DH in first base tonight. Pavoni behind the dish. So we pretty much are who we are. We're just missing the 2 position players now with Philip Pohl and Emerald. So we're pretty much who we are. So you're going to see a nice rotation come out of this where everyone's going to get an opportunity to get ample amount of time off, and it does give us a depth in case there is an injury along the way.
Speaking of rotation, Kevin Berry on the mound tonight. Also talk about the bullpen options we should see tonight.
Everybody should be all set. Brazes should be there. Vance should be there, and everybody else is in pretty good shape as far as we haven't taxed this, and that's what Kenny did last night. Kenny coming in last night and going 3 1/3 was just a tremendous boost, for the bullpen, and again I think for psychologically for himself that was a strong outing.
Got to see Jason Martin back in the lineup last night after taking a day off, after getting taken out of the lineup and after being plunked on the head by a pitch. Seems to be okay.
He's fine. Dr. Harwood, took a good look at him the night he got hit and said she saw nothing at that point that gave her any indication that he would not be fine. Danny O'Keefe looked at him the same way. We did it as a precaution to give him the night off because, all of the attention now being placed on post-concussion trauma. We just are not going to send anybody in a situation that's going to be harmful to them. It was a good move to give him a night off, and everything is fine. He's ready to go. There was no concussion. So, again, I feel good about that. That first of all, we have the depth to do that, and secondly, that's what should be done with having Marianne around to help us out. And Danny and Colleen are the 2 best in the league, so I'm very confident that Jason was taken care of.
Mentioned that you graded the team a B through the first quarter of the season. How about their morale and their ambition and drive throughout the rest of the season and heading on down toward the playoffs? It seems you've got a really talented core group of guys, and they all seem to like each other. They all seem to get along pretty well, and they all seem motivated to come out here and be the best that they can be.
Well, I think that's a great point you bring up, and I think it was indicated. Ed Baird is in town, the 65, 66, 67 Chatham Angler or Chatham A, Chatham Red Sox, whatever he was. He's in the Cape League Hall of Fame. And Ed joined us for our dinner at the 400 East last night, which, again, was spectacular. Anybody who come into town, go to the East. It is Brian Sluis does a tremendous job. Fabulous meal we had last night. And Ed Baird stood up, and the kids had been finished with their meal 15, 20 minutes. The food was gone. 90% of the team was still in there watching the College World Series game was on and just enjoying each other's company. And I think that really shows you, again, how important it is to make these kids comfortable. They enjoy each other's company because, you've heard of the stories where guys, the one taxi cab per player, so to speak, in Major League Baseball. And that could have been very quickly. A guy comes in, gets his food, and out he goes. Not last night. Like I said, 90% of the guys were still there. And the guys who were missing, I think, had a legitimate reason. There was family in town or what. So I'm very pleased. They're a really, really great bunch of guys, and a lot of them are really improving. They're really working with the coaches, trying to make themselves better, and that's what we're here for.
It seems what adds and enhances that that group morale is the fact that Chatham has the history, has a good tradition, and is also a great town to live in. Going throughout the other towns on the Cape, you could say that Chatham is one of the more homey, one of the more prettier towns. But also, it's just a great place to be, and I think Chatham definitely boosts the morale and the ability of this team to be the best.
Well, I think part of it is one of the smaller towns. So the group of people that are working are a very small group of people themselves, and it's a year-long work ethic that they have to get the housing, put together the food list, just make these kids comfortable. A lot of people are returners, and the ones that aren't returners that are new look back and going, wow, these guys really take care of these kids. And the kids appreciate it. They appreciate what's being done for them. And in turn, all I asked them to do is, I said, this group of people does not count up the wins. They want to see you enjoy yourselves, but all they ask in return is to play hard, do what you're asked by the coaches, and be good kids. And then so far, so good. These guys have been tremendous. And, you know, it makes it, that's why it's such a great job to have. And, you know, Chatham, Massachusetts, it's got to be, without question, one of the most beautiful towns on Cape Cod. And guess what? Cape Cod itself is gorgeous. Every town is gorgeous. There is something unique about Chatham, and I preach it to these kids. They get it. Their host families do the next. It's a great experience.
He's John Schiffner. I'm Aaron Canada. It's the Manager Show on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Go Anglers!